and the great Vinny Smile Chopra. Vinny, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing great, brother. I'm in San Francisco area here in Danville, Blackhawk, and the sun is shining, and everything looks amazing. But I know my colleagues, my people, my residents in Fort Myers area, Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, all that Orlando area. My best wishes are with them. The key thing is, these things happen, hurricanes happen, and so on. And it's good to have great executive directors and good teams of people who are professionals in handling all those things. So that way, I'm less stressed, you know.
And let me ask you, Vinny. So I know you own property in St. Coral. I know you own property in
Yeah.
Punta Gorda. So
Yeah.
how did your properties do? How did everything go through the storm? Because I know in Tampa, we weren't hit too bad, but I know further south and a little bit to the west, it got hit pretty hard.
Yes, I know Naples. I saw some of the footage, as you know, and flooding and a lot of things happened to Naples. I'm so sorry about that. But I think our Cape Coral and Punta Gorda senior assisted living space, which we built, the key thing is we built it on with block construction. And our buildings are only one story purposely because they are for assisted living and memory care for seniors and with the courtyards and everything. And they are newer construction. So they are designed to really weather these kind of, hurricanes and all. We did have few roughage of the roofs, and some leaks, which we'll be able to fix it. But, families are well, everything. That's the main treasure to make sure of our residents are well taken care of. And thanks to my team, thanks to my great people at each of those, facilities, I would say, or communities. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely, Vinny. I mean, I know that for the last 24 hours, you were one of the people who sent me a text that said, "Hey, how are you? I want to make sure you're okay." And my mentor texted me, my mom texted me. So like you were at a list of like 10 people who just reached out personally and said, "Hey, is everything okay over there?" So I just want to
Yeah.
say, personally, thank you. And yes,
Oh,
everything went fine. We put the shutters up, the windows had, big steel shutters over them and we just hung out and we worked.
oh, wow. No, I see that. I mean, it was cat to 4 and then went to cat 3, then cat 2. So, I know my friends over there in Orlando also communicated, and Tampa, like you said. So God bless you all, really. Yeah.
Thank you, Vinny. Now, today's principle, the one that we talked about this Saturday, it is so fitting that we're actually having this conversation right after a big storm like this. The principle is Wealth Principle 34, which is accept what can't be changed. And then the separate component to it is create an advantage from what can't be changed. So if you have a story about a time where something like, I don't know, a hurricane came through some of your properties and you couldn't change that
Yes.
situation, how are you going to take advantage of this? How could an investor or somebody who is living in Florida and kind of suffering this situation, what is something that they could do to find a great advantage out of this situation?
Sure. That very good question. I mean, it's all what you feel and touch, and you have emotions, you have pessimism, you have optimism. A lot of things come on your mind. Stressfulness. It just the Ian that just happened yesterday, and it's going through Florida. Reminding me of Houston flooding, where I owned 11 different assets over there. And, some of them, 3 of them got affected a lot over there out of my 11. But you know
And what
what?
happened to those three, Vinny? Before you tell us how you fixed it, what happened to those three?
Sure. I mean, one very beautiful one. I love that asset, 150 units near NASA in Webster, Texas. Uh, 39 units. The lower units got flooded. Got flooded. What? I mean, and the families in there and everything. So I had to make decisions right away over the weekend to get some, contractors in to cut the walls. It had gone to 18-inch of water into the apartments at the lower level. And we had a creek in between, in our property, beautiful creek and bridge, but it got really flooded and all. But then the key thing is to cut it twice the height of the sheetrock. So we cut up to 3 feet of sheetrock and then, excavated it and all that. But then we had to go through moisture control and make sure no, moisture is left. So it was a big process, brother. I mean, but the thing was, I knew that things are happening in my properties. So I was on top of it from California. I could not travel back then, because of highways being closed and everything. The airports. But the key thing was, I knew that I will make the right decisions. And I did put almost 600,000 of my own money back then to really rectify the situation. And I knew if the insurance didn't pay, I'll pay that, things like that. So having the interest of investors' capital is very foremost in my mind, and taking care of the residents. That's the
Absolutely.
part.
It's so interesting. So what was one of the good things that came from that situation? I know it's hard to say there was something good out of it, but what lesson did you learn, or what good came out of seeing that destruction, and then how you handled it and what you fixed with it?
Sure. Walter, I would say definitely took months and months, to get this rectification done, and dealing with contractors, with, inspectors and everything. It was a drawn out process. I even was approached by public adjusters. Now that was something I learned later on, that the company I worked with, Higginbotham, I'll give accolades to them. And my brother there, my friend, who is the vice president, senior vice president, Kyle Shaklak, I think. And he says, Vinny, our insurance company is for you, and we'll fight for you with he's an insurance broker company, right? So I would highly recommend that we don't get a public adjuster. I got one. They made 5% of the total damage, but it was a big problem because the public adjuster would not push through certain things and not work on my behalf, and timelines and everything that hurt me, So I learned a lesson, to really work with the insurance broker to represent you, and they'll work out different ways to help you, and so on. So no, thank you. But that was big thing. The other thing was, I knew that, our insurance, and I did some special contracting. I got into negotiations with because, once the things happened, all the contractors were so busy, all the inspectors, you know what I mean? So you have to kind of push the needle, and I'm used to that. I start ringing bells pretty high and loud. Winnie's calm, but Winnie is also very loud, brother.
You start lighting fires under their butts, ringing bells. It's like, hey, Vinny's in town. Let's fix these buildings. Awesome. So what does this principle mean to you when it comes to even the recession, right? So this current economic situation that's going on with interest rates rising and a recession at the same time, how can people take advantage of this situation?
I would say, definitely you got to really see that there is a silver lining to every dark cloud. I mean, that's how I lived my life. Many times, I always have believed in the core of my thinking and my conscience that things happen for a reason, and they were supposed to happen. See, the thing is, you could really take the attitude, why me, poor God, why me? Why these things happen to me, not to others or other areas, and and things like that. But if we accept the fact that it happened, now what? And the sooner we recognize that it happened, now let's find the solutions, right? We need the solutions more than just griping about it.
Absolutely. It's so true. And how do somebody like, what would be an action step right now? What are opportunities you see in this market right now?
Oh my gosh. Okay. No, thank you for reminding me again about the question. I'm just so excited to talk about, with what is happening in Florida and others, and there'll be more hurricanes, things like that. We just need to be cautious. We need to build right. We need to have insurances to the T, all those things, right? But let's talk about market right now. Wow. Market has been going up and up and up and up. Nothing really stays up, brother. I
Truth.
mean,
Preach, Vinny, preach.
I know. I mean, the thing is, you got to look at where the market, stock market, real estate, appreciation. I mean, look what has happened in the last 4 or 5 years, especially 2 years, 2 years, 2.5 years. There has to be pendulum that goes down. You got to the bell curve or whatever you want to say. So the key thing is interest rates are inching up higher because we were so used to the low interest rates. I mean, how could I get $34 million loan at 2.69%? Amortized
Crazy.
over 30 years, brother. It was crazy time. And we made hay. Everybody made hay. All right. Now, I did remember, and I talked to my students and my investors and my friends, colleagues, that, hey, I bought at 5.5 and 6.5 and 7.5, even 8%. I bought. I remember 2008 and 9, I bought seller financing at 9%, brother. So it's not uncommon that these interest rates, where they are, we should be able to find good values because the sellers, it's been a seller's market for such a long time, and the sellers' expectations had been raised. Mine myself. I sold 27 properties. What? 27 at the peak, and I'm selling some more right now. But the big
Hold on.
thing is,
What year did you sell those 27 properties?
I would say this is going back to 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, and again buying only one. Can you believe I bought only 2 in 2019, 1 in 20, no, 0 in 20. Oh no, I bought 1 in 20, which I'm selling now in Austin, and then 1 in 21. Look at that. Look at the taper, because the numbers didn't work. We got to marry the numbers, not marry the property. We cannot marry the property. Yesterday, I saw a brand new building which has been built in, and off-market deal came, and I met with my team, and we did the underwriting, and we walked away from it. It's 2022 built, and it's not even leased yet. I mean, taking that property over now in December or November is a calamity, because the rental market goes down in November and December. One has to be so careful. But, let's just talk about, like we were discussing, so I started selling at the peak, and I just heard Nitya Capital, Swapnil, talking about they sold $2 billion portfolio, in multifamily and commercial. And I see what Swapnil is talking about, totally. And a lot of other great syndicators like me and others, by the way, others, they have also, sold off at the peak. And then they are ready with the cash and everything like me to buy again, which will be in 6 months or 12 months. But you got to stay in the game. Nobody's going to bring the properties to your, lap, or let's say, or on your plate. You got to play the ball. You got to talk to brokers. You should look at the deals that you did not get. And maybe they're falling off. And now is the perfect time to talk to those brokers. I know in my master mentoring last night, Ankur said he showed so many properties he put LOIs on. And the broker said, oh, no, it's already gone, and this and that. Now his attack is to go back to those brokers again. I loved it. Right. He shared with the whole mastermind in a circle his tricks of the trade, which is exciting to me, that when we are thinking for the opportunities, not the calamity. See, calamity or the light has, struck, right? Or yeah, spark or whatever we could say. But the thing is, these interest rates are going to go up, but they're going to go down too. They will. They will. Everything that goes up, it could be a V, inverted V, I call it. It'll go
Yep.
up and then closely, very quickly going down, you know? And I know in the COVID, when it happened, people were thinking about W, inverted W and V. I think V is more possible in this one with the inflation. What our government is doing, we put $3 trillion of cash out in the market in the last 2 years. And that has brought inflation. People have more buying power. They could afford more. When they can afford more at a higher price, inflation jacks up more, So I think there has to be correction. It was needed. So that's something you could think about, right? Calamities happen, but what do we do with that? See, the thing is, investing career, I find when there is more pessimism out there, is the time to buy.
That's right.
Wouldn't you agree?
That's right. Oh, Vinny, yeah, it's what you said too. We've been net sellers for the last 3 years. Also, we've been just selling real estate. We did one good deal a year, just like you said, one good deal. But mostly we've been selling, 3 families, condos, little things that we owned.
Yep.
In fact, I just realized we own a house in cash now. I didn't realize we had this building in cash because there was an accident on the bank side. We had 2 loans. We had 2 properties bought with 1 loan, and when we sold one of the properties, they paid off the other property.
Love it, brother.
It was a portfolio loan. So, Vinny, we're doing the same exact thing, brother. We're just like, hey, you know what? We'll keep selling as long as the price are going to stay like this. We put them on the market. If people absorb them, awesome. If they don't, we cash flow. But as far as acquisition, we're still doing 1 deal a year. It's, look for that
See,
really
that's
great
the thing.
deal.
But get ready, Walter. Have the money ready, brother. OPM, other people's money with this, all the jitters of stock market and everything. People don't want to cash out right now, but they're going to lose money too. 7-8% inflation means 100,000 is worth $92,000 at the end of the year. And it's better to cut the the losses. I always say that. Cut the losses and move your money to where it will start making money. And that's what is happening. Cash flow is king.
Yeah.
For the last 16 years, that's what I've been preaching on always. I don't take cap rate to the bank. Nobody can take cap rate or IRR to the bank. Nobody can. But cash flow is king, brother. Cash flow, that's what really determines whether it's a good property or not, and how you're going to add value to it and put your business plan into action. Oh my gosh, just talking about that, I got to talk to you about something. And the audience just bought Wyndham Garden in Texas for 13.5 million. 13.5 million. Just signed the contract yesterday with a broker to sell it for 25 million. What? I gave the listing already.
Let it go. Let it go.
Gave the listing. Let it go, brother. Because we found out we made a very good deal from the bank. So we bought it for 13.5, 165 keys, right there in Texas, the multifamily. But now it's worth 19 million actually. So we got 6 million shaving off because it was bank repossessed, and it's doing well, everything. We are giving the restaurant and everything to an outside company to manage it, which they were not doing it before. So we are going to get 15,000 a month rent from that restaurant. That means like running the whole restaurant and making 15,000 a month real profit, because they're going to give us that money, right, every month to pay rent. And the good part is that we are going to also, it's renovated fully and everything, banquet rooms and all that we're going to do. Anyway, so we told the broker, hey, off market, if you think there are some people who can really buy it, because it could be 25 million pretty soon, because we cut down 700,000 in the payroll. What? 700,000, brother. We knew it.
Right on the
By
bottom
going
line.
and looking and talking to the staff there, we knew that was our business plan. A lot of people, this bank was not letting them go because they just
Wow.
didn't care.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we just bought it 3 weeks back.
Yeah, it's one of those things you hire slow, fire fast. And if
So
somebody's
true.
great, promote them faster, right?
Oh, surely. Our executive director, she's going to be managing 2 assets. She's the one who managed our Hilton Garden Inn, took it from 6.3 to 12 million. We sold it, got the 7 million 10 on 1031, bought this deal 165 keys from our 1031 money, no investors' money, our own money of 5,330 or something. And now we are putting on sale for 25 million. If we can sell for 23, 24, 25, we'll sell it today.
Well done, brother. Well done.
But you got to look at, like your topic is today, everything falls on us. It's up to us. It's in our control how we react to the situation. We could poo-poo it. We could say, poor me, why me? God, why you are so not good to me and other people around me, they're flourishing. I mean, you could do all these things, right? Our mind is a devil's workshop, especially empty mind is devil's workshop. We always know that, right? But the big
That's
thing
right.
is you got to look at the situation and you got to say, you know what? It's upon me. Okay, how, as the CEO of my life and the CEO of my companies and everything, what is the right decision a good, thoughtful leader will do? And we should follow that path. We should follow not the emotions, not the feelings. We need to look through our heart is good, but we got to look through our mind and body and soul and make sure that you are taking care of the customers, the investors, the residents. I never say tenants because they are residents. They live in our Monil fine communities and our all the different companies, all the employees, all the colleagues, everybody. I mean, I'm so fascinated. I'm leaving for Las Vegas next Tuesday for the metaverse. Metaverse.
Woo!
I mean, Web3 is here, brother. NFTs with authentication, contractual, metaverse, the Web3 with the experiential. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg just put a tweet out today or a posting, and I reposted it on my channel because metaverse is going to be here. Facebook changed their name to Meta for a reason.
That's
They're
right.
putting $15 billion a year, 15 to 20 billion a year into research and designing. And that's what my partner and CEO of Evoke, Craig Shalley, my good brother, very good friend, a motivational speaker, and a great, great businessman. We have partnered together now into the metaverse. And I'll be posting so many great things. So we're going to do NFT drops and PGA tournament happening there for the Shriners, Children's Hospital and everything in Las Vegas. I'll be there 5 days, 7 days, I think. Yeah, 4th through the 11th. So I'll be there like 6, 7 days and mingling with multi-millionaires and billionaires over there in Las Vegas.
It's pretty exciting seeing where everything is. It's funny that you mentioned Zuckerberg. I followed him this morning for the first time. I hadn't been following him, and I thought, who builds communities better than anybody else? And I realized it's obviously Mark Zuckerberg. So I went to his page and I saw exactly the post you're talking about the metaverse and some other stuff. And I just said, man, like this guy's amazing. I should have been following him years ago.
Yeah, so true, so true. My friend Craig, from India, who's been very successful from the Southern California. We are just, just like brothers from different mothers. We got so many great, exciting things happening in this universe with the metaverse, which we are building all these verses of Dubai and Rodeo Drive and New York and Singapore, and where we'll be able to put all these different businesses in our metaverse where people can pick up the products and try them try them on them in the metaverse, in the three-dimensional experiential, and then buy them. What? You could buy them all across the globe. So it's very exciting, and I'll be posting a lot more stuff. I have so many things to post now because I've been watching Mark Zuckerberg for the last year or so, and so on. So yeah, no, thank you for mentioning that, brother.
It's amazing, Vinny. You are crushing it. We got to jump off this call because I like to make sure that we keep these things short for everybody. Go back and watch. For everybody who's listening, go back and listen to this one because Vinny dropped a lot of really great knowledge on what you could do in this market with this calamity that's happening. And he also shared a lot of information about his previous experience with the hurricane that hit his Houston properties, 11 Houston properties, 3 of which were actually traumatically disturbed and hurt pretty bad with the first floors getting flooded. So go back, watch this one again. There's a lot of great stuff. If you haven't already registered, we're going to be live at the 100 Millionaire Summit, October 21st to the 23rd. Vinny Chopra will be in person answering questions and giving a really good, powerful speech on the power of positivity and how it becomes
positivity and syndication, brother. I mean, my life has changed. My life has changed with OPM, other people's money, thanks to my investors, my valuable investors who granted me 50,000, 100 to 5 million now. Some of my investors have 5 million with me, invested in deals. I've doubled, tripled their money, given their money back and all that stuff. The good part is you got to learn syndication. Come to this summit. You will be a changed person. You will be a changed person with your attitude. You'll be a changed person with positivity flowing through your ears, through your life. And also the syndication, how to really get money from your relatives and friends. There is trillions of dollars around you. You got to come to this convention. We'll see you there in Orlando. Make a ticket, buy your ticket, and come meet us, and we'll be there for you, and you will be changed first people. Yeah.
Awesome. Benny, I can't wait. For everybody paying attention, click the link below, share, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Cheers to your success for your choice. I always work with the best. See you guys next week.
Thank you.